I hate to break this news to the UFO hunters, but Pyramid Mountain is a natural formation. There is nothing artificial about it. You will have better luck looking for the Lost Dutchman gold mine. This entire region should be renamed, though, Fatal Attraction Park, for the 16,000 individuals who have disappeared will most likely never be seen again and will always remain a mystery. Again, the Bosnian Formation appears to be very natural and part of the mountain system, and not artificial whatsoever. And to date, there's no convincing evidence to indicate otherwise. Here we have the real McQuay, and its counterpart is sitting at the bottom of the ocean in Japan. If world governments were to acknowledge its existence, they would have to rewrite the history books. The more recently discovered intact city at the bottom of the ocean in Cuba lies at a depth of 2,296 feet. It would have been one of the first cities, if not the first city, to experience the epic flood 43,000 years ago. Amazing workmanship. I think we need a bigger sub. Don't worry, I'll release the bait. Where did all these seamounts come from? Are you using that 9 Mariner's map again? Oh my god, throw that away. Blow ballast. Alexa, Sigmar no, please.
I refuse to be bumped around again by big alien cylinders and Russian submarines.
Based on the ROV video, the top seems to be composed of a mixture of boulders in a compacted sediment matrix. Why two boulders appear so similar, and some drop-off edges appear so jagged is for future exploration. The Gumesh have lived in the Santa Monica region for over 15,000 years. If the original elders, the first ones, lived in the valley where the Pacific Ocean is today, but were driven out by relentless flooding, then we are overlooking a brief catastrophic event in Earth's recent history. In 1989, the Point Reyes Lighthouse moved 20 feet in 5 seconds during the Loma Prieta earthquake. We are exceptionally fortunate to have this almost fully intact city lying off of Cuba at a depth of 2,296 feet. The pictures are absolutely stunning of the curves and the columns that we discovered. What great discoveries await us entombed in the Yonaguni Sands? An entire metropolis, long forgotten? History of the ages, just waiting to be told. The Ocean X team has provided us with valuable clues to the Baltic Sea anomaly's origin, purpose, configuration, and hard data pertaining to the ore, temperature, electrical, and Geiger counter readings. It's time to complete the puzzle based on their extraordinary work. This is an ancient monument to a known alien race. They traverse space in saucers and have been visiting Earth for thousands of years. The monument is magnificently formed and finished in natural rock brought to the site. Our visitors are mining experts and far exceed our abilities. Titanium is used in the production of memory steel. It was back engineered and is now used on the Mars rover tires, most befitting. One of the first people to handle a piece of memory steel from Roswell was the head secretary of Wright-Patterson, and it was delivered to her by Men in Black. Approximately 32 years ago, a man who worked at Area 51 has provided us with another clue, element 115. Bob Lazar mentioned the crucial importance of this element to the aliens. Of course, this element did not exist and was not on the periodic table. Element 115 is a very stable, highly radioactive isotope with a half-life of 0.65 seconds. According to the government, element 115 has no known uses. Our upcoming pyramid is by far the oldest. In fact, it predates any pyramid here on Earth. This pyramid is on Mars. All of the remote viewers are correct. Ariska as well. Mars pyramids also resemble the South American ones. They were built for survival and have stood the test of time. It would seem that the Martians have abandoned these for high-tech cities. Mars is an inhospitable planet to begin with, but the nuclear war aftermath, oceans disappearing, and constant bombardment would prompt one to look closer at the blue orb. They came here and brought their technology with them. Being opportunists, they rely on the one building block every planet has: rock. The ancient buried Egyptian pyramids existed during the epic flood and are most likely buried in overburden and dust from hundreds of dust storms. Malibu's Sycamore Knoll is well known for having countless UFO sightings. There is no other formation on Earth like it. The scholars have stated that the wave actions created the flat tabletop. Those who have studied the data on this formation realize several feature oddities which seem to have no explanation. The knoll is indeed a natural 2-mile by 3-mile slab. According to Google, the top of the knoll is 281 feet below the surface, but Rob Lowe's ROV says 544 feet below the surface. Why the Google images were slightly blurred remains a mystery as well. Excepting the very outer edges and a marginal area on the west extreme, all charts agree this is a perfectly flat, enormous pop-up, which most likely was finally hidden from view before our previous ice age, as was the Baltic anomaly, and other recently discovered cities around the same depth. This was before Noah's flood. Our tabletop has absolutely no signs of slope anywhere from wave erosion. If the top were leveled off by such action, the top would be sloped somewhere along the surface. It is not. The readings are consistent, be it Rob Lowe's bathymetry charts or Google. The top is flat, but dips slightly to the west, just like a French pool table. It submerged too quickly to have experienced wave erosion. The now monolithic top appears to be approximately 350 to 425 feet thick. At approximately 900 feet below the ocean surface, the front, not depicted by the earlier drawings, drops almost straight down another 1,250 feet. On the west side appear to be more perfectly spaced columns. The front entrance between the columns could easily accommodate a 750-foot spacecraft, but none that large have ever been seen entering the water, only hovering over it. Rob's ROV landing would indicate that the top is a solid flat surface with minimal loose sediment. The edge appears to be broken and drops straight down. In one frame, at the base, it appears that the vertical face of the anomaly begins to get smoother, but currents prevented further investigation. If Google is off by 263 feet and the bathymetry soundings are equally skewed, does this mean that the seamount depths are also in error? To a submariner, this would have grave concerns. Davy Jones Locker always has room for another volunteer. There is no doubt as to the depth. Rob Lowe's ROV was sitting directly on top of it. Aside from a nice place to land, what would attract Martians to this location? Well, it so happens that the offshore black sand dredging samples along the California coast are rich in titanium. Samples off Daly City yield 6.9% titanium. Processing water, titanium, and other minerals, total cover, and easy access may be the reasons for the ongoing sightings. Martians are opportunists. 50,000 years ago, Martians had already achieved the dream of interplanetary colonization. Earth would become their new colony and home, like Mars is ours. With the Martian exodus, great cities rose here from earth and stone. Their inscription imprints etched in rock forever, like the home they came from. Truly, masons extraordinaire. But natural changes in Earth's normal rhythm began. The Earth's core was moving. Old and new volcanoes came to life and the poles were reversing. Glaciers around the world began to melt, and their initial cities sank into the ocean abyss. This epic event, 43,000 years ago, marks the end to the Neanderthals. Unlike previous reversals, the timing of this one pole reversal is very close to Milankovitch's 41,000-year cycle. Neanderthal extinction was inevitable. Additional locations were selected and alien work began in earnest. Those situated in high ground survived the next and following floods, or remained under hundreds of feet of water when the oceans refused to recede anymore. As the human population became established over 30,000 years ago in Mexico and other areas, they were pressed into service or servitude depending upon your point of view. Remember, you always want to be on God's good side. And the biblical flooding inundated the land, and the alien gods said, "Not again." Mother Nature still rules, no matter where you hail from. If we should find the key of knowledge, which will open the Sphinx, unlock the Baltic anomalies' hidden secrets, reveal the treasures hidden within the recently discovered pyramids, who will be the custodian of that key?